Hello, my friends. How's your week going so far? Has it been calm? Has it been relaxing? Has it been chaotic? Have you had anxiety? Have you had stuff you need to deal with? I want to talk about today my safe place when life gets tough. I've done videos similar to this before. We're going to talk about the breath a little bit. And just something, it's a tool you have at your fingertips all the time. When I see people constantly struggling with something and they don't even try something, I'm like, well, it's really hard to help if you don't try something. And this is not any kind of, I mean, you can even take meditation out of the equation, although I don't know sometimes where the line is between my breath work and meditation. And this isn't any complicated stuff. This isn't like, proper breath work where you necessarily need to be taught. It's not like the Wim Hof stuff, which is good stuff, but that is a more serious, you really need somebody to teach you the right way of doing that. And just for safety's sake, I think most people can do this, but if you have anything like a heart condition or any health issues, you might want to check it out. But yeah, like everybody, I struggle, and I use my breath all the time. I put this into action. Well, I have my meditative practice, which is just kind of like, keeps me on that even keel. But sometimes need a little bit more, and it doesn't have to be anything proper. You don't have to go sit in any fancy way. You can access this wherever you are. I would just suggest when you are breathing that upright position, just straight up, where there's no compression on your lungs or your spine or anything. You want good, just where you can get in full inhales and exhales. I have several methods that I use for different things. Like I say, sometimes, and I went through some stuff in February. February was kind of a dark month for me, and I just kind of got to where I was doing my daily meditation, but also I was struggling, and I would just have time, sometime laying on the couch, sometime out on the deck, whenever, where I would just like go into what I do during my meditation practice, and that's just focused on the breath, being aware of the breath, not doing anything with the breath, not trying to breathe in a certain way, but just as I breathe in, I realize I'm breathing in. As I breathe out, I realize I'm breathing out. And you just kind of get in tune with that. And as you do that, a lot of times, and that was similar to some of the stuff I was having in February, you blow things up. You ever heard this expression, turning a mountain into a molehill? Well, when you get inside your head, and you have that chatter, that monkey mind, that voice that's just always there. And sometimes you just need to shut that little voice up and and that's what happens. It just seems to, we're not trying to necessarily quiet the mind because thoughts are always going to rise. But when we're focused and aware of our breath, just I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. That tends to settle the mind, and we're not so caught up in everything, what if this happens? Well, if that happens, then this could happen. And then we're going to, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Now, a lot of times when you're right in the situation, you might be in your car, you might be out in public, you might be standing in a line somewhere or whatever. But there's just a general method I use that slows down our heart rate. And the general method is just when we practice taking longer exhales, when we're concentrated, taking longer. We take an inhale and then we take a longer exhale. In other words, our exhale is longer than our inhale. Because what this does is this activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which moves our nervous system from the fight or flight mode. And that's where our heart rate gets jacked up and our breath becomes more rapid. Sometimes the situation can control your breath, but sometimes you can use your breath to kind of take the pressure off of the situation. There's two ways that I use this. One's just real simple. One, you don't even have to do anything other than just think about just breathing in. Maybe you count, like maybe do a count, like breathing in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out. Maybe to start with, you breathe out. The exhale is for a 6 count. You'll have to work with that a little bit. And I highly encourage you still, like I do this stuff all the time. I go just Google stuff related to the breath, related to this kind of stuff, just to refresh myself, just to kind of check things and just to learn, a little bit more. So, you know, just breathing in, longer exhales. Now there's a specific one, the 4-7-8 breath method. I believe that is from Andrew Weil. And this one also is very good. It calms the mind and reduces anxiety, and it can decrease your heart rate and lower blood pressure. And the 4-7-8 is simply you're inhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're exhaling, inhaling through your nostrils, exhaling through your nostrils for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you're not counting that fast. That's a good one. I practice that from time to time, and sometimes I'll even set up my tripod, and I've got a little app on there for my breath, and I will just sit and I'll follow this program, and it actually has this ball, and it'll show me, you know, 4, breathe in 4, hold, breathe out. There's another one I like as well too, and I learned this one listening to Andrew Huberman's podcast, and that's the physiological sigh. And I think at some point or another I've talked about all of these, you know, in a video, but it's separate, and I just thought I'd put them all together. Well, the physiological sigh is we take a deep inhale, but after we take we breathe deeply, and then when we get almost to the capacity, or when we almost get full of breath, we take that inhale, and you get kind of a little second inhale of air. And then, now this is through the nose, then you breathe out slowly through the mouth. I try to do about an 8 count for the breath too, but like I say, it looks like this. And I've got like a little heart monitor that I can put on my finger, and sometimes I play around with this, and I've seen it myself. I will see my heart rate come down as I do this, you know, several times. I kind of use the physiological sigh kind of right in the moment. I feel like it's good just like as a quick. You know, you're really kind of anxious about something, or you just really need to calm down, something's happened. And that's kind of the quick one for me. Now, like I say, you can sit and do this physiological sigh for as long as you want, though, because sometimes I just kind of get into it. I start out doing it to kind of, you know, lower my heart rate, kind of get a little bit ahead of that anxiety, and then I just kind of keep doing it. And I start off thinking I might do a couple, and then I end up, you know, 10 minutes later, still doing it. And it's just a very wonderful, calming feeling. And like I say, even, you know, if you're a little unclear, because I sometimes don't explain things like that the best, you know, just go Google some of these things. Google longer exhale than inhale. Google the 4-7-8 breathing method. Google the physiological sigh. And like I say, this is something that you have at your fingertips. You don't need, you know, like I say, I've got an app on here where I can sit and do it, but you don't need anything. You don't need a timer. You don't need nothing. You just sit and do it. If you were just dropped off in the wilderness right now, you could use any of these here. And, you know, that's, like I say, that has gotten me through so much of the last 5 or 6 years. I can't even tell you, like, you know, besides the way I eat, or I won't even say besides, this might be more important than my food as far as keeping my mental, you know, straight. But everybody struggles from time to time. It's nice to have some little tool that you can at least, you know, kind of take the edge off a little bit. I'm not saying you're going to solve your anxiety, or you're not going to, like, you know, this, but just try it. Just try it. What do you have to lose? So anyhow, just wanted to share that with you today. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll see you here real soon. Peace.